That's a good question. What do people get wrong about me? I don't even know how to fully answer that question. I mean, I've had a lot of friends that think that I'm money obsessed at different points in my life, and they're not entirely wrong. There have been points in my life where I was completely driven by like making an extra dollar or two, and I would do pretty much anything for that extra money. But it was usually in the name of like, oh, I'm gonna go buy myself this freedom so that now I can like do comedy all day or write the album of the century. You know, there's always some kind of grandiose thing in the back of my head that I want to buy myself time for. And I've actually kind of done that a little bit in my own way recently. So I think now it's almost like the opposite. Now I feel like people see me as a little bit aimless. So for a while it was like, oh, you're like maybe overly career focused or you're a little lost there. And now it's been a little bit like, maybe it's time to start working again. I don't know.
I believe when people first see me, what they get wrong with me is they think I'm meaner than I am, and I'm actually really goofy, silly kind of a guy. But I can be standoffish and defensive because, you know, if you live life long enough, you go through enough experiences, you get your heart broken enough, or, you know, if somebody tries you or whatever the case may be, you get a defense mechanism. So I would say that I've gotten harder over the years, but I do try to maintain that I am a kind, goofy, sort of a silly kind of a guy. But don't try me.
I was actually found on the streets, and so and spent a lot of time living on the streets. So I would say I'm kind of like hood to Hollywood, so I can fit into any social situation. But at my core, I do have a little bit of scrappiness and sass about me, I guess. I would say you look mean. People think you're mean, but you're not. You're really nice.
Like I just have like a look.
You got rest in peace. Can we say? What do people get wrong about me? Nothing. I mean, I'm pretty open. Like, I'm cool with everybody.
Yeah, she's very talkative. She's very like, you find it easier to communicate with people more.
Yeah, it takes me a little bit to get comfortable, but once I'm comfortable, like, it can be off of one conversation. I'm like, okay, we're cool. I know you for years.
I think that somebody might think that I might be a little bit ditzy or something, but I think it's just because I'm really, really excited to meet new people, and so I just get overly excited, and I think that might come across a little bit wrong, but yeah, I think it's that I'm a little bit dipsy and clueless, but I am not that at all. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I should answer the question for her, maybe.
For example?
Okay. Well, I think Bianca sometimes looks a little bossy and a little bit rough. But in fact, she's really nice, and she has a really nice heart, and she has a really nice mother nature, and she really takes care of you. But at first, she's like, bam, 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 and yeah, she's so cute. Yeah, but that's good, because everybody's a little bit afraid of her, but in the end, I'm not afraid of so many people who saw you at first sight. But then there's coming, like, the mother figure out of her. Yes.
So cute.
I know, and now it's your turn.
I think a lot of people would say Anne is like a shy girl, but in fact she's like the craziest girl. Especially when she's drunk. Like then she's coming fully out.
Everybody gets crazy when he's drunk.
Maybe my age. People think I'm younger than my real age, and it always happens to me. So I get it as a compliment, and I don't know. I've been taking care of myself since I was very little, so I've been working a lot in that because I like to take care of myself. So, but a lot of people think I'm very young, more younger than my age. I mean, and everybody is gonna, you know, at the end of the day, grow old and die, part of life. But I think it's good to look younger because I attract younger men.
They don't think I'm that bright, you know what I mean? Because like I have blonde and blue eyes, they figure, you know, sensitive, something I'm, you know, and I don't know. They don't think I'm bright. They're surprised that I'm bright. Let's put it that way. They're surprised because I don't look like I would be bright. You know what I mean? I look like a tarnished bimbo. You know what I mean?
When people size me up, it's either or they're all in. They either understand it or they don't. I'm one of those individuals, highly intelligent. That means my brain works differently. Most of the time I deal with simpletons, people that do not connect with my philosophies or my ideas. And for the most part, the believers understand. The non-believers, you just become a joke of their art. Whatever fragment of that they come out of their mouth, that's what I got to listen to, because they can't put the pieces together what I do for a living. I'm a creative. And I've had 3 heart attacks. I've been to the light twice. Those are 2 near-death experiences. And I have an aneurysm in my brain, so terminally ill, whatever you want to call it. So being on the edge, there is no withdrawal. There is no falling back for me. I keep it right on the edge every day. But what they get wrong most about me is they underestimate my ability to really meet their problems head on.
Misconceptions, I think, just because of how I present. I think people have misconceptions about people in the LGBT community. And so people automatically assume that I'm promiscuous, and I'm not. I'm just kind of a lover of all people and all things. And so I think I come with such an open heart, an open mind that I think it's kind of off-putting sometimes to people. And then they realize, like, oh, this person's more relatable than I thought, because they may think certain things, they think that you have, they put you in a box, and then they realize, like, well, my box is open.
That's a great question. I would say, I wouldn't say wrong necessarily, but I think that people underestimate a lot of my talent, and just like, I have a variety of interests and gifts and skills that, one, I've put work into, time, but also just that have come naturally to me. And I think that when people look at me, they'll be like, okay, cute, and that's that. Or like, if I'm in a, acting environment, they may be like, oh, you're an actor. But I also work behind the scenes as production, people may look at me and be like, okay, you're short, but I'm actually very athletic. I used to be a gymnast for almost 10 years. So like, I think that, I think people kind of reduce my value when they see me. I love when people underestimate me, because then I can show them. At the same time, it does become really frustrating, because I feel like you have to work extra hard to prove yourself. And I don't work to prove myself to anybody, but at the end of the day, for certain things, you have to work extra hard to prove yourself. So I think it's a mixture, and it's really how you look at it. Me personally, I don't see anything as like a disparity or like I'm blanking on my word, but I see everything as strength and lessons and, stuff like that. So for me, it's more of a strength than anything, because I'm just like, okay, you can think you can think what you think, but I'm going to show you different. So I think more than anything, I do see it as a strength. Yeah.
Sometimes, because I'm working in a bar and I'm always like not smiling, because I don't know why, but I think people think that I'm a little, how do you say it, cold. Yeah, but if people get to know me, they know I'm a very, very open person, and I really love meet people. And I think maybe they think I'm a little, I don't know the English word now, arrogant, maybe, because I don't like do eye contact with people that much if I don't know the people. Maybe that's it.
I'm very sensitive, and I see all the things that are around me. I can even feel what's behind me, so I can always pick up cues. So they assume that I'm an extrovert, but I've always called myself the most introverted extrovert you'll ever meet, because I gotta have my time alone. But I also, the dichotomy is I also like people. Like I said, I like having people over, entertaining, being out. I love a party. I'll never say no to a social event. People would always think, I heard it all the way back in high school that I was stuck up or whatever. I was in my own mind. I was like just using my imagination, daydreaming and stuff. And then I heard that, when I was young. And it used to bother me like so many things, but, after a while you start like not listening to because everyone's got an opinion, right? Like everyone's got, what?
Probably that I am silent. I get a lot of the fact that you're quiet, so you don't really have much of a personality. I just like to observe rather than, lash out at people and get upset with them.